Take a live look at our frightening national debt clock, inching closer and closer to its cap as Democrats and Republicans debate over what to do about the debt ceiling. Republicans say they won't raise the debt limit without provisions. So is it time for ultimatums? Here with both sides, policy advisor to DCBA Law, Michael C. Barnes, and Democratic strategist Julie Roginski. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
This is, it seems like a no-brainer. We are going to have to raise the ceiling. But, Michael, why do we have this debt ceiling? It's been raised 80 times in 70 years. Why do we even have it any longer?
Well, that's a good question. Why we have it, I really can't say at this point because it does just keep getting raised. And my concern is that if we don't make the hard choices this time, then we're going to continue to raise it and have to do it in yet another year. So that's why we've got to do the right thing right now, make the tough choices. And as we raise the debt ceiling, also cut spending, finally, so we can get our fiscal and monetary affairs in order.
That is what the Republicans would like, Julie, to say, all right, we'll raise the debt ceiling, but we're going to hold it to some spending limits and to some major cuts. Is that the right path forward?
You know, under normal circumstances, absolutely. But I think as we're still mired in this recession, I don't necessarily think that cutting spending right now would do anything other than deflate the economy. Listen, we need to stimulate the economy. Spending is one way to do it. It's actually probably the best way to do it, unfortunately. And I'm somebody who's a deficit hawk under very, very good times. But right now we're suffering through the worst recession since the Great Depression. Now is not the time to necessarily worry about draconian cuts.
They say that even if they cut $100 billion from our budget, it would only extend this a couple of weeks. So it wouldn't hardly make a dent. So, Michael, as we go forward, do the Republicans, do they have much room for bargain? Do they have much power in this case? Because Democrats and Republicans alike know we have no choice. So what can they really hold out for?
Well, the fact that we have no choice means that we've got to do what is right politically and in terms of policy and not make a big deal out of this, but actually do what it takes in order to avoid not just defaulting on our national debt and the payments that are due to our creditors, but also to avoid a sovereign debt crisis for the world's largest economy.
Julie, a recent poll just out this week said 71% of people oppose raising of the debt ceiling. So how do you explain this to the American people in a way that makes sense to them that we have to do it, because they certainly aren't behind it?
Well, they should look at their dollar bill and they should see that it's backed by the full faith and credit of the United States of America. And if we default in our debt, that full faith and credit of the United States of America is shattered. It's gone. Their money will be worth, frankly, won't be worth much because we're not backed by the dollar. We're not backed by the pound sterling. By the sterling. We're backed by the full faith and credit of our country. And if we default on that, the money in their wallet's pretty much going to be worthless. And that's something, you know, that they should think about.
Yeah, it's hard to ask that question without telling them the consequences of not raising the debt ceiling. Last word there, Michael?
Well, that's exactly why we have to make these tough choices right now, because we have creditors who are financing 40 cents on every dollar, and they have to know that we are serious about our fiscal and monetary affairs, and we've got to make the tough choices now.
Some tough choices are ahead. Julie, Michael, thank you both for being here.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.